Lamp's full understandings. Please like, subscribe and share.
Was the Transfiguration the anointing of Jesus as King? Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Jesus literally predicts that his disciples will see him coming into his kingdom before they ever die. This likely occurs at the top of Mount Hermon, and after 6 days, the prophecy of Jesus comes true. He takes Peter, James, and John, his brother, and brings them up into the high mountain, apart from everyone in privacy, and was transfigured before them. What was this transfiguration all about? Jesus says that some of his disciples will not taste death till they see Jesus coming into his kingdom. When Jesus rides into his kingdom, does he not ride in as the anointed king? If he says that they will see him coming into his kingdom, must they not be seeing him as a king? His raiment was white as light. Obtaining super white raiment is reserved for the immortalized. All the white objects in Revelation are all for righteous things and immortalized things. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him. What better two witnesses of authority to have present when you're being anointed king of the world, other than Moses and Elijah? If you're going to be anointed king, you have to have witnesses, and Jesus has the best, most authoritative witnesses. You can't ask for a better, more credible witness set than Moses and Elijah. It is good for us to be here. Peter says, if thou wilt let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elias. Peter, James, and John, 3 witnesses alive and able to tell other humans that they saw, that those 3 witnesses saw the 2 other witnesses of great authority. Witnesses witnessing the witnesses. Witnesses upon witnesses, to make it sure and of no doubt that Jesus was anointed king. Peter suggests that they build tabernacles or booths, which refers to the Feast of Tabernacles, a symbol of each living without fear within their millennial kingdom personal fig tree allotment. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. The Gospels only say, and lo, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased, at his baptism. All 3 Gospels. At the baptism, God said, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased, but he didn't say, listen to him. That is to say, follow him. At the Transfiguration, God said, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased, and listen to him, follow him, because he's your king now. A voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased, hear ye him. Revelations 10 unveiled the end of time, that there should be time no longer. Now, where else in the scriptures does God ever describe time no longer? Because God's time never ends. So whose time is ending? Well, you see, in Genesis 6 verse 3, the Lord said that his spirit shall not always strive with man, but man also means mankind. So he's speaking about the aggregate of all the time allotted to mankind, of which Adam was given dominion over everything in the air, everything on the land, and everything in the sea, and the air and the land and the sea. Mankind has dominion. So when that stone hits the feet of Daniel's image, it's not destroying all the literal kingdoms of mankind, because kingdoms mankind will continue to live on during the millennium, he's destroying the dominion of mankind, because that millennium is the dominion now of Jesus. Because all the things of the heaven, of the earth, and the sea are given over to Jesus, and all judgment. The ending of the striving with mankind was 120 generations of mankind, which are 50-year periods, and they have Jubilee years, 120 Jubilee years. The actual 50th year is the Jubilee year, 120 Jubilee years. 120 by 50 is 6,000 years, which we already knew, that God made man on the 6th day, which represents 6,000th year, of which the 7th day God rests from his work. He looked back on all that he created after the end of the 6th day and declared it very good. But while he rests on the 7th day, he's not looking backwards, he's looking forwards. Jesus is working his dominion while God rests. And so the end of time, there shall be time no longer, is time no longer for the dominion of men. Daniel's image is being destroyed. And this is why you see the dominion language in Revelations 10, verses 5 and 6. The angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven, and he sware by him that liveth for ever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, which Adam had dominion of, and the earth and the things that therein are, which Adam had dominion of, and the sea and the things which are therein, which Adam had dominion of, that there should be time no longer. And that's why the angel has 1 foot upon the sea and 1 foot upon the land. And he lifted up his hand into the air, because he's speaking about how the 7 thunders brings in the end of the dominion of men and the beginning of the dominion of Jesus as king. The lion is stirred, it says in Revelations 10, and cried with a loud voice, as with a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. The lion is not visible, he's not returning yet, but he has stirred. You can hear him. And then the voices of the 7 thunders follows the roar of the lion. And Jesus was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun. What do we see in Revelations 10? The last time Jesus had the sun in his face was at the beginning of the last 7 thunder years, when the lion stirred, leading to the end of the dominion of men, and the beginning of the dominion of the king. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face as it were the sun, and his feet as the pillars of fire. And God gave us signs for the purpose of obtaining actual and accurate dates. December 26, 2019, ring of fire, solar eclipse, epicenter just south of China, because COVID-19, a major tribulation to kick off all the tribulations of the last 7 years, began in China. That's where the solar eclipse was. The thunder years are 2020 to 2026. The Sagittarius constellation in which this solar eclipse appeared is a depiction of a rider on a horse with a bow. That's familiar as the first seal. At the head of Sagittarius is the very center of our solar system. Sagittarius A is our black hole, a throne where God sits figuratively in light unapproachable. This is a very densely populated area of stars that is colorful like a rainbow. Because the sun is in his face during sunset, the feet of the horse go through the fiery look of our atmosphere during sunset. The rainbow at his head is the center of our galaxy. The Milky Way going through the chest area equals clothed in a cloud. And so the last 7 thunders is signed here, December 26, 2019, with a depiction that shows the sun at his face, because the sun at his face sign leads to the end of the dominion of men when those 7 years are completed, which begins half an hour of silence just before the dominion of Jesus begins. The two dominions separated by a half an hour of silence. Revelations 10 comes before Revelations 7. And then on to Revelations 8, half an hour of silence. Jesus says to his disciples that they will see him coming into his kingdom before they ever die. And they did. Transfigured into the kingdom age as king. White raiment is only for the immortalized. The kingdom personal tabernacles mentioned. That's what Peter thought he was seeing. Peter thought they were seeing the kingdom. That's why he offers tabernacles. Witnesses of great authority, witnesses for the witnesses. Listen to him is added as compared to his baptism time. And the sun is at his face, heralds the last 7 years of mankind's dominion and the beginning of Jesus' dominion. 7 points that support the determination that the Transfiguration is for the purpose of anointing Jesus as king.
Often, within prophecy, there'll be a number. If one has the correct understanding of the prophecy, the number will now confirm that the understanding is correct. This prophecy began after 6 days. Jesus spoke this prophecy. As we have found, 6 days refers to the 6,000 years cap allotted to the dominion of mankind. Genealogically and confirmed by celestial signs, it has been proven that the 6,000-year mark ends on the last day of Adar, April 6, 2027. April 7 is a new moon, and each new moon, a trumpet is blown, and so we go into the 7 trumpets last 7 months. And so the number that was given to this prophecy, we believe, can only represent this one possible thing. After 6 days equates to after 6,000 years.
Doesn't it make a lot more sense that Jesus is being anointed king at the Transfiguration and not at his baptism?
Lab's full understandings. Please like, subscribe and share.